Howdy kids, today old Papa John's back to tell you another nightmare-inducing story from my days working on the infamous MK Ultra experiments. I'm going to tell you about one of my favorite shows, The Future Diary, also known as Mira Nikki in Japanese. When I saw this back in 2019, I was instantly hooked. The story revolves around 14-year-old Yukiteri Amano and Yuna Gasai. So here's the scoop. Yuki's kind of a huge stupid loser, so he writes about his feelings on his cell phone and talks to his imaginary friends while he cries in his bedroom after school. Plot twist. Turns out his imaginary friend is God, and God has a monkey-tailed lolly servant that he spends most of his time with alone. Yeah. So God's like, hey, feel bad for you, kid. Here, let me make your diary see the future. Wow, thanks.
Can my phone see?
Quite so. I have an inkling you'll find prognostication very handy.
This is impossible. You're a figment of my imagination. How does that translate into knowing what my future is? I mean, I thought you up, and I don't know what's coming next.
Do you believe imagination and reality to be mutually exclusive habitats for an entity of my stature?
He's a god, he lives where he wants.
Uh-oh. A bunch of people have diaries, and because God's a dick, they have to deduce the identities of... That was hard to say. They have to deduce the identities of the other diary users and bonk each other's skulls in order to obtain the victory royale. But wait, there's more. What do you get for killing all these people? A loot box? Some XP perhaps? No, sorry chief, God's a feeble old man on his deathbed suffering from dementia. He just really needed someone to take his place when he died, so he copied Fortnite. Moving aside from that, who are these characters? How do they develop and interact with one another over the course of the anime? Well, I don't remember, it's been a while. Hold on. Epic segue. Let's start with Yuki and Yuno. Yuki's motives for his actions are pretty straightforward and consistent throughout most of the show, and he acts as sort of a
Stabilizing influence on her.
to quote the show directly. Yuki is lonely, he wants friends, he doesn't want to die. A cute girl protects him from mean bullies. Cry about it, rinse and repeat. The only notable change I noticed from him was in his declining fear towards Yuno from start to finish. Yuno, on the other hand, is a yandere, driven by an unhealthy desire for Yuki to be in love with her. Going as far as stalking him in a bunny suit prior to the events of the main story. I mean, she gets up to all sorts of wacky hijinks trying to protect Yuki, and if this isn't wholesome, then I don't know what it is. Oh yeah, and the purpose of her diary is to get updates on what he's doing every 10 minutes, I think. Yeah, that's right. Next, we're going to be talking about Uryu Minane, but I just can't handle pronouncing that name so many times, so I'm going to pass this off to Jariel.
Thanks, John. Hey guys, Jarrell here. Today I'm talking about the hottie with the body, ISIS member turned not ISIS member, Uru Minune. Now listen, if I had to choose between getting my dick sucked or watching a Uru Minune fart compilation 4K HDR Dolly Digital, well buckle up because it's about to get stinky in here. Who is Uru Minune? Well, from what I gathered, I don't know, I still haven't seen the show. A purple hair ex-terrorist pirate protagonist of Dive of a Wimpy Kid, or Mary Nick, whatever you like to call it. The important takeaway is that she's the best girl and hot. Mainly hot. Now, maybe it's the purple hair or the missing eye, but something about Shotty just has me like, damn.
Truly inspiring, informative, and relatable. Thanks, Jariel. Let's move on. Alright, time to get serious for a minute. I'm not really sure who did all the music for the show, but it's all really enjoyable. Most of it's some sort of like Japanese rock and roll or something. I don't really know. They did end up changing the ending theme as well around the halfway point of the show. It's way better than the original in my opinion. Here, I'll show a little clip. And like most animes, the opening has a lot more power to it. Also, it has like cool visuals that accompany it, so, check that out if you're gonna watch the show, I guess. Other than that, all that's left is my rating. And obviously, I'm a big fan of this, so I'm gonna go high and give it an 8.5, lower than my last one, but, still very good. And that's not to say that the show doesn't have its problems, but I don't really know what most people are complaining about. Something with the some sort of weird time travel shit or something. I don't know. Just watch the show.
Okay.
Hey y'all, Jarrell again. Don't forget to like and subscribe to John Chanel.